Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Darth Slone, and today's video is going to be one like no other. This is the ultimate fishing guide for the angler. We are going to equip you based on the assumption that you have 100 slots like I do, and not 200 slots like my buddy Dad's a Psycho likes to remind me of all the time. But this is for those situations when you are out with a friend, you never know what you're going to go fishing for. So if your friend says, hey, let's go fishing for some river carp sucker, I got your pole right here. Now, you never know, guys, when you are going to fish for whatever. When you're fishing with a friend, they may suggest something, and then you realize that you don't have it on you. You're in the spot. Now you got to fast travel back and talk to Taylor again. So this is for those situations we're going to go through. I'm actually going to remove everything from my inventory except for my poles. So we're going to have some big poles, some medium poles, and some light poles. The setup for anything you want to fish for. And of course, you never have to drop down to those light poles. If you're just worried about getting the fish in, just yank it in, get in my boat setup, we've got you covered. And we will talk about how you can get those bigger poles and the things that, with tokens and things like that, and where you can get like poles like the Citro del Rey, which is on Spain. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go remove everything from my slots, and we're going to fill them back up, and I'm going to tell you in the end exactly everything that you need to have on you for any given situation. So this is your ultimate angler setup guide. All right, guys, before we go into all the actual lures and baits and things like that, let's look at our gear. Now, this is the 7 rods and reels that I think you should keep on you that would cover everything. Now, if you're after points and records and things like that, score, maybe you drop down. My smallest pole is the fairest of them all. Look for a pole, max line strength, 13 pounds. That one kind of suits your play style, whichever one that you want for your smallest pole. I kind of think that's kind of a safe. You can get in a pretty good fish on that thing with a good fight. Now, if you're packing around a 2-pound pole, sometimes you're going to get some trouble. You may hook a diamond that you can't get in, So if you're float fishing with this, chances are you're probably going to see the fish swim up, maybe, and you may have a chance of landing it. I have landed, 20-pound fish on this thing, actually bigger than that. Depends on the fish and how hard they fight. But that's my smallest pole, with my biggest pole being the Growler X. Okay, so those, you got to buy them. You got to, that's $1 million for the fairest of them all, and then the Growler X has got, a lot of tokens that you got to get. Now, I'm assuming that if you are watching this video for the ultimate setup, that you've been playing the game for a while, you've got all these things. Okay. This is for the player that's, what can I just stick in there to cover all my bases? If you're a beginning player, then you just got to go with what you got, right? But if you've been playing for a bit, I'm level 200. You don't have to be level 200 to have all these things. Actually, the Citro del Rey is another one here on Spain. I know it's 500 rep and then some tokens. You can just click on that in the shop. It'll show exactly what you have to get it. The Power Nexus you get at level 100, that is a match rod. So all you can do is float fish with that. A lot of people are like, what's the difference? Match rod and spinning rod and all that. So you can't put a lure on this one. It's float only. Okay. This is bottom feeder only. Graduation is my next bottom feeder. The reason I like to have 2 big bottom feeders, whatever I'm fishing for, now that we have rod holders in the game, you can have 1 in your hand and 2 in rod holders. So most of the time I have the Citro del Rey and the graduation rod laying on the bottom with a gold hook and a diamond hook. Whatever fish you're fishing for, you can look that up in my top 5 charts. It has all that information, temperatures, hook sizes, the biggest fish you need to get on the top 5 leaderboards and all that. So gold hook, diamond hook on the bottom, and then I'm fishing in my hands with a silver hook 90% of the time, no matter what fish I'm going for. And my other float fishing rods, here I have the Ubuntu, which is South Africa. If you do the missions, you can get that one. Now that 27-pound line strength on that one. So this one, the North Pole, that is a bottom feeder rod as well. Sometimes you have the fish that you're going for is a bottom feeder, like the river carp sucker, for example. I would fish with this in my hand and then the Citral Del Rey and the Graduation on the bottom. You know, that happens. So bottom feeder fish, you want 3 bottom feeder rods. You know, even the grass carp, I got the Power Nexus in my hand, just ripping those silvers in, and then they'll come over, the diamond will come over and bite one of my bottom rods that's been laying there for a while. That happens a lot. So these are my poles right here. And really, you know, Power Nexus is associated with, you know, reaching level 100, the Tiff Talker that goes with it, level 90, and you can buy more of those. You can go buy another one, and I may do that. You know, now that I'm level 200 and there's no missions and I don't care about XP or breaking any records, I may just go buy me another Power Nexus and stick it in there. I might buy me another Growler X. What are we going to do for tokens now anyway, you know? We don't have any use for them, so might buy me another Citral Del Rey, you know? I might just have 2 Power Nexus, 2 Citral Del Rey, 2 Growler X's, and then just throw something else out at the end, maybe my little fairest of them all, just for a little challenge every once in a while. But that is my gear, okay? And then we're going to go into what else do I pack on me. So before we get into that stuff, I keep the Catapult Light on me and the Catapult Heavy, and then I throw out with my hand. Most of the time I'm throwing out with my hand. The rest of it is what baits and what lures, what soft plastics to use, and we're going to go into that. Hello, my name is Darth Slone. Do you suck at fishing? Are you struggling to catch diamond fish? If so, get yourself a Darth Slone mug. That's good coffee. You'll still suck at fishing, but you'll have coffee in a cool mug. All right, guys, let's go through everything else that we have. We've looked at our gear. We've looked at our equipment. Now it's time to look at what we're actually putting on our hooks. So throw this up here. I went through every single fish on every single map, and mostly I went with what was the something in the top 3, and I just put it in. But there were some occasions where I was like, okay, I actually catch more by fishing with this, so I threw those things in there too. So like there are times that we fish like with the whales and the northern pike over on Trollsport, we use bronze hooks instead of silver hooks. There are a few fish like that are low population fish, and you go to a spot and you fish with a silver hook. Japanese eel is another example, and you're just not getting any bites, so you got to catch a bunch of bronzes to get stuff to spawn in some situations. So let's look at our gear. Okay, guys, you're gonna have all hooks, jig heads and regular hooks. You're going to have all natural baits, all live baits, all bottom baits, and all ground baits. You're going to have all that. That covers everything float fishing, everything bottom fishing, okay? Whatever you need, you put your hook size on, you've got it. So that just leaves us, you know, with the other things, like you've got floats. So I've got 3 wagglers on me for my 3 float fishing reels, okay? I've got that. I've got 3 sinkers on me. Doesn't matter which one. So just pick you out three sinkers. Okay. Now we're going to go through our lures and soft plastics. So you got 3 floats, 3 sinkers. Let's look at our backpack to see what we're packing on us. Okay. So here's all our lines. Of course, we've got 99-pound braided, 60, 55, 44, 27, 22, and the only fluorocarbon we have that goes on our goldenrod. We've already looked at that stuff. Let's look at the lures that we are using on us. Now I have a 3 swim bait, 4-aught swim bait, 3-aught swim bait, number 1 swim bait, 2-aught swim bait, and one number 6 crankbait. I think that is the only crankbait that I have in my loadout. And there's not very many spoons used either. You see, I've got 3 spoons down here. Now, spinners I use a lot. Poppers I use a lot. Okay, a few frogs here and there. But I went through every fish and their preferred ones and how I've had success in this game. So I think that is the only crankbait I have on me, and I think that's for the European perch. Is the only reason I have that crankbait. Now, a lot of these baits, you know, and that's for a silver bait. Okay, because I catch most of my diamonds on a silver hook. I had a couple spots left over. I went ahead and filled them with poppers and spinners, just in case I want to drop down to a bronze or go up to a gold or something like that. But I have 100 slots filled out. This covers every single fish in the game, gives you multiple options for different fish in the game. Let's go on to spinners now. There's a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 7, and a 6, and the 2-aught Hulk Hogan spinner. I use that a lot for Atlantic salmon and a lot of the legendary fish. This is also covering all your legendary fish. Anything that you want to do in the angler right here, guys. Here we go with the spoons. I only have 3 spoons on me. I've got a 2 spoon, a 3 spoon, and a 6 spoon. Now let's go to the poppers. I do like the poppers. Okay, we've got a 5 popper, 1-aught popper, 1 popper, 7 popper, 6 popper, 2-aught popper. Now jerk bait. I always keep that 3-aught jerk bait. I catch a lot of the legendaries on that 3-aught jerk bait because it eliminates the small fish, and when you get a bite on that, you know it's legendary. I spillfin, I catch on KPD, and then number 1 jerk bait. I can't remember which fish it was that goes with that as their preferred. But there's the number 1 jerk bait for those situations. And then we have the 2 frog, the 4-aught frog, again, legendaries, 3-aught frog, and the number 6 frog. And then you see, again, all of the bottom baits, all the float baits, 3 wagglers, 3 sinkers, up to you. But the waggler, the reason you want to use it has less drift of any of the other floats. When you put it in the water and there's a little water movement, it doesn't move as much as like a regular traditional bobber. Now let's go down to our soft plastics. As you can see, we only have 6 on us. 6 and 5 tube on that one, 8 and 7 tube on that one, 10 and 9 tube on that one. Of course, the 10 and 9 is going to be for your smaller type fish. The number 3 and number 5 shad. That right there, your Xander and your northern pike will eat that shad up. Now you're going to be catching some bronzes, but that's all right. I've caught a lot of diamonds off that thing. Number 2 and 1-aught worm, 2-aught and 4-aught worm. Now that's going to hit a lot of your African sharptooth catfish, your lake trout, your big fish. That's going to hit sidewinder, a lot of your legendaries, bottom fishing type fish that are big. You just put that 2-aught to 4-aught worm on there and jig up and down, and there you go. That's my 100 slots, guys. We went through the rods, we went through the reels. There's all the stuff we put on our reels and rods, and then of course right here, all we're using here is that catapult, the light one, and the heavy. Guys, I hope this has helped you. So I'm going to leave this stuff on me now, and that way I'm prepared for all situations. And Dad's isn't laughing at me when I have to go back to the shop all the time. But this is your ultimate setup. I am now prepared for any fish, any legendary, any situation. So hope this helps you guys. If it has helped you in any way, please do me a favor and hit that free subscribe button. That's all you have to do to show your appreciation. It's absolutely free to hit that subscribe button. Join our top 5 competition, guys. Come on over. We're still streaming the Angler, going strong. My name's Darth Slone. We'll catch you in the next one.